These are 5 things I absolutely love and appreciate as an American who's lived in Britain for many years. The first one is all the footpaths and the bridleways. In the countryside, they're this network that has been around for hundreds of years, and it's really, really special. There's the right to roam. It feels very weird to just be able to go across people's farmland. The scenery in the same spot will change seasonally. In the springtime, you might have some green things shooting up. Summertime, you have the mature crops, and then it's all plowed back in the autumn again. The same field might have crops rotating, and then you really get confused because you're like, wait, I thought this was sweet corn. I really love the fact that a countryside code exists, and I love walking around, assuming you're not in the middle of nowhere. If you go out, there's a lot of dog walkers and people. It's very friendly. You generally say hi. Some friends of mine have horses, and I have to say, it's not the fancy type of horse riding you might expect. It's like these are mostly local, like native ponies, and taking them out is hilarious because they're so well adapted. So I'll throw up the video of the horse I was on, who's just absolutely stripping down the beech trees as we walk along. So that's the type of foraging the animals do. Whereas the thoroughbred had no interest in eating beech leaves. I do feel really super fortunate I get to go out on the horses occasionally. The one I ride is elderly and basically a self-driving model, but it's still really fun. By the way, if any of this reminds you of your own countryside memories or hobbies, share them in the comments. The next one is related to the footpaths and the bridleways, but the hedgerows are full of life. And for a lot of people, the hedgerows become a source of food. I know that the people that I know, and even myself, big on foraging. Just behind me, there's a bunch of blackberries. And they came early this year. It was really hot and dry over all this summer. How beautiful is this? Stunning. This, however, is private. No right of way. So I'm going to keep going this way. And the hedgerows especially, they're an entire ecosystem. I know it probably doesn't necessarily translate very well on video. They're also not maintenance free. I don't know the finer details. I do know that in a lot of places they have to be trimmed back. I don't know how that's worked along here, but these are incredibly tall. Okay, I don't even know if you can even see how tall they are. One time I was invited along to help fight back against the encroaching rhododendron, which is not native, but it was introduced at some point, possibly a Victorian period. And rhododendron basically is invasive. So annually in the autumn, they would get groups together and do what we called rhodie bashing. So rhodie bashing is basically cutting back a lot of the rhododendron. And in this particular instance, it was an all-day affair. And there was a fire going, had roast jacket potatoes cooked in the fire. Amazing. So the other cool thing is they had brought in heavy horses to help haul out some of the larger logs. I know that a lot of us were on manual tools, but other people had chainsaws. I love that idea of volunteering in the countryside. The third thing I really love about the countryside is you have all this history in plain sight. It's not even hiding. So I mentioned footpaths. They're 100 years old, if not more. The other thing I've seen out in my countryside walks are old barrows, like old earthworks that are oh, sorry, I'm not gonna get the words out, but somebody will know. But basically, like, gosh, I used to watch a lot of Time Team. I should really know this. Let me know if you ever watched Time Team, because I kind of want to go back and watch them all again. In terms of history, the hedgerows themselves are, of course, boundaries. I love it when you have these old lanes carved out, and I've seen some where the road surface is a lot lower and you have these like steep earth sides, and it makes me think that they're just so old. Sort of makes me think I should look up the road I just came down. Like, is this... I mean, I think it's old, but like how old? Fourth one is the foods and the foraging. In the springtime, you have lots of wonderful plants. My favorites are the wild garlic. You can make an amazing pesto with that. There's also green things like cow's parsley. That was pretty decent in a sauce. Wow, I just have to, I don't know if it's going to show up on screen. Well, I'm in shadow, but the sky looks pretty incredible. Back in July, I think it was, I filmed a whole bunch of hedgerows and nice countryside foraging potential. So it was a lot of cobnuts, sloes, damsons, things like that. And I know for a fact that my friends have done a lot of that because they have given me some nice things. I'll show you on screen. But yeah, the toasted cobnuts are phenomenal. Basically, yeah, like they're a hazelnut and started off in Kent apparently, but they're all over the southeast. I mentioned the hedgerow food, but this year I got to pick wild mushrooms. So they live in the field where they grow in the field where the horses are, and they were everywhere. So much so my friends were saying they're kind of sick of them, they're over them. Wait, how can you tell?
Because when they flattened out and they've changed color,
okay,
they've they're the
ones like these. Lots of mushrooms this year, so I got to do some picking. And actually I was on a rail replacement bus the other day, and there was like a mushroom on the floor. I'll throw in a photo because it was so weird. Like why why is there a mushroom? So I've definitely been picking at apples this year. This jar of applesauce was not made by me, but it's very tasty. And the lovely woman that I'm house sitting, she has all of these jams and jellies and, well, basically homemade preserves. And I haven't done this in a long time, but it would be fun at some point to be able to do that sort of thing again, because then you have like lots of goodies. It's more of a feeling of achievement, like, I did all this. Yeah, if you were earning a full-time wage, it probably wouldn't be worth the effort, but it is fun and it's a huge sense of achievement. So yeah, they're delicious. The fifth one is the country pubs. I'm not gonna lie, I do love a pub. And it's this atmosphere. I don't know if I'm ever able to describe it adequately. It's something you just have to experience, which hopefully you have. Especially when it's cooler weather. You walk in and it's warm, it's cozy. You have the low ceilings, fire's going. There'll be dogs, be people in slightly muddy clothing if they've been out walking. And it's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. My dream is to have a local pub that's very old and has that nice welcoming feeling, and then have a regular pub I go to in the countryside, because let's be real, I'm probably not going to actually live in the countryside full time. But just to have like these couple places where I know what I'm getting, know what I'm getting myself into. And of course, they're going to serve amazing food. So those are my 5 favorite things about the countryside. Please share yours in the comments. And if you're hanging around, the next video I think you should watch is where I talk about biscuits. I'm going to taste a bunch of biscuits. And if that video isn't done yet, if it isn't out yet, then have a look at this one. Have a look at this one where I talk about the 5 best things about summer, although summer is definitely gone now for this year. But it's surprisingly warm today. I came out of the house wearing a coat and I've taken that off. So that's the things I love about the British countryside. It's not just the scenery, it's a feeling, it's the calm, it's that it's also full of life. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps my channel more than you know. If you've got a favorite countryside place or memory, share it in the comments. I'd love to read it. Sorry, it's super bright, so I'm gonna have to leave my sunglasses on. I'm sorry. But what I was gonna say is that yes, earlier this summer, it was super bright. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Bye for now.